Okay, we have your name first of all and the organization you represent.
My name is Tanay Sidki Uyar. I'm from Turkey. I'm a professor of renewable energy at Marmara University. I'm also promoting renewable energy as the president of Eurosolar Turkey. Eurosolar is European Association for Renewable Energies. I'm also vice president of World Wind Energy Association.
Okay, so a busy man.
Yeah, I'm trying to promote with my capacity. I'm also coordinating all environmental NGO platforms in Turkey, grassroots organizations, about 150 of them organized in 5 regional platforms.
And what is the message you're bringing here to the climate change conference in Cancun?
As we followed from earlier summits, there is a hidden consensus between the governments who are using technologies with high emissions, coal power plants, petroleum, natural gas, these countries, and the countries who have used this before, now trying to get rid of those. There is a hidden agreement for dislocation of obsolete technologies from one country to another in this world. And the governments of the industrialized countries after 1970s petroleum crisis and then after 1980s with the development of the renewable energy technologies, which was not present in 1850s when the industrialization started. There was a technology break at that time. In 1970 petroleum crisis, and the industrialized countries decided to go energy efficiency immediately. And from 1970 to 2000, 4 to 10 times less energy consuming end-use equipment was developed. So, but this was not used all over the world. Best available technologies are not used all over the world. When in a country you have efficient, better technology, then the older ones are transferred with credits to other countries. You know the credit crisis. Now in Greece we see it, in Ireland we see it, we will see it in Spain and Portugal in Europe, because these were the countries in Europe they were the destination of obsolete technologies through credit mechanisms.
Why do they take the obsolete technology? Simply because they can't afford to have the latest state-of-the-art technology?
Usually the credits are being paid finally by the destination country. It's not an offer, it's a disaster. I mean, I wouldn't take credit cards and use it as I like, because I paid finally. So it's a trap, let me put it that way. So when you want to get rid of your obsolete technology, following the directions of European directives and also United Nations decisions, you look for somebody to take this dirty technology from you and use it. Now we have French companies coming to Turkey to buy cement factories and operate them over there. The main reason is since 1993, external costs are calculated in Europe, and because of this, the damage made to human health plus the damage made to nature is calculated. That's why in Europe, in France, it's not possible to operate cement factories. But in Turkey, in a country where there is no long-term strategic planning, energy end-use efficiency law is not in operation, and external costs are not calculated, and then cement factories can be operated over there, and the external costs are paid by the nature, and every family has one cancer case. The main reason is these are not considered as externalities. That's really we need to prevent. If you want to really implement United Nations decisions.
And is there a widespread recognition here at the summit, for instance, that this is the situation, that wealthier countries are, I suppose, is it fair to say, dumping their obsolete technology in many ways on poorer countries?
Yes, they want to continue to do this. For example, for Turkey, being a privileged partnership statute means this. I mean, certain countries and people and companies who want to dump their obsolete technology to Turkey, they don't want Turkey to increase the standards to the European standards. If this is done, then they need to do something else for their obsolete coal power plants. Even the nuclear waste storage is a potential danger for Turkey.
What is this? Is there a solution to this problem? Is there enough pressure? Is there a move in the direction of trying to eliminate the problem?
For different actors, there are different tasks. For United Nations, COPs, they should put definite obstacle for dislocation of technologies. So, and the citizens should vote in their national elections for the candidates which are looking for 100% renewable energy.
I mean, it seems obvious that since the technology is available, clean technology is available, that obviously everybody should be using it. But is it simply a case of the wealthy nations trying to maintain their privileged economic positions in the global system? Is that simply, are they the ones deliberately putting obstacles in the way of all countries being able to use latest technology?
All countries have a right to have a wealthy state and everything. And when you are in a global prison, if you don't look all together, if you don't have a global wind energy tariff, which we suggest as Renewable Energy Alliance, I'm the Vice President of World Wind Energy Association, and we have a side event over here. I strongly suggest people to come and listen what we are trying to say, not in each country, but globally. If we are sitting together globally and we live in a global prison, we need to talk together and find a solution all together. We cannot say, oh, every country should be free to do whatever they like, so one way or the other we tell them what to do. This is not the good solution. I think since now the solution is renewable energy, and renewable energy is more available in developing countries, the only thing is the mechanism. Getting credits with arbitration and state guarantees is the problem. So we need to get rid of this mechanism. Every country should create their own funds, or whatever the funds are available should not be wasted. And with revolving funds, every country can do what is good for that specific country. When you get credits, money from others, you are becoming the customer of the obsolete, whatever is left over there, which is not used anymore. So it's no use. Then you bring the problems of this to your country. As you know, the technologies are developing. Whatever is the problem is being handled. More efficient technologies, less polluting technologies. So when you become a customer of the more polluting and less efficient technology, then you pay for it. There's no free lunch. So we need to prevent this technology transfer. And what I will suggest, what really some countries are doing, they are creating this credits or providing financial support mechanisms for whatever is good for them. So they don't look around and find money somewhere and do whatever this country is trying to get rid of. So this is the basic irreversibility, I think. And of course, we should not, as human beings, we should understand that whatever do we as human activity, it needs to be in harmony with nature. This is not an offer, this is not a favor. We must do it that way. Otherwise, the nature takes the initiative and continues without the human beings who are putting pressure on them. So this is the philosophy behind it. This is well understood by the industrialized countries because they made mistakes before, using more fossil fuels and nuclear power plants and so on. So this experience should be generalized, should be taken an experience of all countries, and to do whatever is required, we should prevent this obsolete technology transfer. And from the side of the developing countries, or whatever the destination of obsolete technology countries, they should understand that the best way is to go to best available technologies and create the funds by themselves, since they are paying these credits anyway. I mean, there are no two choices. One, you take money from somebody and use whatever is left over there, but you pay for it with arbitration and state guarantees, and otherwise you go to IMF and other referees which ask you more to do, or from your country with your limited budget you do something nice, and both of them you are paying. One is paying for somebody's obsolete technology, the other one is doing something which is good for you. So long-term strategic planning is required, and end-use efficiency is required, internalization of external costs are required, and education and training of the people are required. And one other obstacle may be everything should be discussed in the parliaments. I mean, if one person is deciding, however, we don't know, is elected, I mean, in Italy, for example, everything was discussed in the parliament. But recently there was a threshold in the elections. Now one person can decide in Italy about everything. So we need to have more democratic elections in all countries, and everything needs to be discussed in the parliaments, and by that way we have solutions. But if we don't find a solution, nature has a solution. It's time for us to show that we are, as we assume, more clever than other creatures in the world, and use our capacity to talk together, human qualities, and decide together. But let's not cheat each other also.
Okay. That's lovely. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.